Hello, everyone. I'll come up. I'll be full size for a little bit. I looked, it was weird, Jaycee, and I'm like down here talking. Um, but I want, when we go crafting, I want to have Jaycee big because I've seen the cards. I got a sneak peek about midnight my time last night, and I'm not usually up that late, but I was, and thank goodness I was because they're gorgeous. You guys are gonna, oh my gosh, you guys are just not going to believe it. So we have the fabulous Mitzi here for our late night crafty party as well. Mitzi's joining us. She'll be behind the badge answering questions, and we'll get those codes in there as well because there is a code for Jaycee's. And I can actually let him share that because he's here and he has them. So we could do that. And so this is for the Stampwheel class, which we are so excited about. Mini retreat, one full day. I always say it's half a day because the retreats are now 2 days, so I get them confused, but it's a full day, 10 a.m. to about 4:30, guys. And we're so excited to have you join Tasneem, Miriam, and Jaycee in this amazing event. And if you missed the first live, go back and check that out. Tasneem and Miriam went through the kits in a lot of detail. And maybe Jaycee can talk about kind of his input as he's crafting into these. But so excited to have you here with us, Jaycee.
It's good to be back, and it's good to have you as my moderator, of course, and it's good to feel Mitzi in the clouds, raining down all the links for us. So thank you to both of you. And yeah, it's a good time to teach again. It's been a long time coming, the Stampwheel 2.0 class. I did do a brief intro video over at AECP, but I like this because the class itself has like specially curated products for Stampwheel 2.0 next level crafting. So if you haven't seen the kit yet, the kit is kind of behind me amongst the mess of things. So I'd rather not pull it out. I did pull specific products out though, because yeah, like Bridget said, I'll be demoing a little bit today. And of course, there is that added benefit, right, for joining us on this live today with the discount code.
Yes. Do you want to share what it is with our fabulous crafters?
That's right. So today and tomorrow, so 10/28 and 10/29. Just for 2 days, we've got $40 off the deluxe kit, which is JADEL. So Jaycee Altenew, we'll just call it that. And then deluxe 40, so 40. And then if you have the Stampwheel 2.0, then you'll want the regular kit, right? Because then that's all the specially curated products that I helped design for this retreat kit. And that is JAREG and then 20. So it's $20 off. So just today, just tomorrow, I'd really take advantage of that because, yeah, it's going to be a good kit. I mean, and we're being taught by like, forget me, but like you're getting taught by a product designer and co-founder of Altenew. Like, I don't know, you're learning from some really awesome people. And
I'm going to put Jaycee back in there. Let's not forget about Jaycee. Let's remember Jaycee is there because Jaycee is phenomenal. Jaycee won't say this, but Jaycee is phenomenal and amazing. And I gush over his designs, as we know you guys do too. So
well, thank you. Thank you. And yeah, I did help design. Did they mention this? I helped design one of the products in the kit. I did have very specific sources of inspiration for that. But of course, I saved that exclusivity for the kids. So in the class, so you're going to have to find that out on how I design the class around this kit and what I plan to teach with the Stampwheel 2.0. But today we won't let you miss out on anything today. So I do have something in mind to teach, and I'll show you the inspiration behind the card as well, because it's great to use with the Stampwheel 2.0.
Yes. And like Jaycee mentioned, if you want to get ready for this and you haven't used the Stampwheel and you're nervous, I hear that from people frequently. They're nervous to make the move to the Stampwheel and how does it work and all of that. Jaycee has 2 101s for the regular Stampwheel and the 2.0, walking you through the basics. And I want to say the basics, but it's really not. I mean, it's very simple for anybody to do. I think any child that can follow directions, like an 8-9-year-old that could follow directions, could do it. It's very easy and user-friendly. But also it's so informative and gives you so much detail. But this is so going to expand on that. all the tips, tricks, to kind of get your PhD in stamp wheel kind of thing with this class, because you're going to learn some cool things. And we shared the other day too, JC, in the layering guides, we have some of those fabulous placement tools.
Yes,
Are you going to use those today in
I
your?
will. I will. Yes.
And he's using, I don't know, it's so hard to pick. The stamp set that he helped design, I love. I mean, it's so versatile. It's going to be one that stays on your stash and on your desk.
Yes.
But this other one he's using today, I struggle with, I'm just going to say it, flourishes. I struggle with flourishes. They're beautiful, but how to put them in and make them fit, you know? So when I saw this, I was like, this is gorgeous, but I struggle with flourishes. And I stamped it out. And I'm like, not anymore, because this can be a background. It can be so many things.
Yep, yep. And I love the size. And like you mentioned, there is an alignment guide, which I, when we saw the first stamp wheel, that was hopefully the thing that was going to happen with the stamp wheel. And now it's like finally coming into play where we can use the alignment guide and really easily align and multiply your stamps. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to give away too much because it's really exciting. You kind of have to see it, right, to see how it works. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
And Tasneem was mentioning, she had this vision of this space that she could kind
Yeah.
of fill, and it didn't have to be circular. And so it was a great, if you guys have not watched that first interview, Tasneem gives a lot of background on the stamp wheel. I always say I was binge watching shows during our stay at home order we had, and Tasneem was changing the crafting world. So that's pretty impressive. Yes, we will post those codes again. Mitzi is right on it. We will get those posted. What would you like to share tonight, JC?
Well, I aside because I wanted to keep the class pretty exclusive, right? But I did want to share something in the kit that you can, expand on after you learn from the class, right? Of course, our intent is not to just use the kit contents during the class. We want you to keep using these items and really use them throughout the year because the stamp wheel is your tool, right? And you should be able to learn and be able to expand on these concepts as you make with this excellent, right? This really versatile stamping tool. So aside from what I teach in class, I did want to share another way that you can use the stamp wheel with the kit contents. And I have 2 items from the kit to share with you today. So sorry, the chat is so far from me because I have it like all the way on this side of the screen, but I'm just trying to make sure I capture
That's
everything.
okay. No, take your time.
Yeah.
Relaxed environment,
Oh yeah.
super chill. It's not like the old days when it was an interview and you kind of had to focus and you kind of look, like sneakily away. Now you can look away. It's okay. Everybody knows you're trying to stay up with all the fabulous comments over there
Oh
and keep
yeah.
up
Yeah.
with all of it. So yes. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, thank you for dropping that link again, Mitzi. So yeah, and of course, like Bridget will help me, take a look at the comments. If there are any questions, please ask while I'm crafting because we don't want any silence during this whole thing, right?
It's a
So
party with JC and Mitzi
yeah,
and you guys. We gotta have fun, right? It's a
yeah,
crafty party.
yeah. So yeah, whenever we're ready,
Yeah, if we
feel free
wanna
to-
is I should we ask, are you guys ready to craft? Do you guys wanna see a little something maybe?
yeah.
They're gonna come back with a laughing emoji, JC, I
Oh,
think.
that's right. That's right. A little delay. I keep forgetting. Like it's not instant. I always just think people are just right here. So yeah, I guess we'll start with some of the products that I've got to share. There we go, and I'll switch my camera down.
Yep, I'll
Hopefully,
shrink.
ooh,
Oh, no, I'm
other
over
side, other
JC.
side.
Oh, there we go.
I pressed the wrong button.
Oh, no.
Already press the wrong button. So
It looked like you were gonna surprise me. You were
I know I was just gonna give you the little bunny ears on top.
Oh,
Alrighty.
here we go. Yes, everybody's ready to craft.
Okay, there we go. And it looks good on your side, Bridget. The quality didn't drop or anything.
It looks beautiful.
Okay,
No,
perfect.
beautiful.
Perfect. Well, here's the view of my crafting desk. what I've got here is also in the kit. It's the Regal Flourishes block. Sorry, wow, let me take it out of the sleeve real quick. I am going to be using one of the add-on die sets because I love a good offset die cut sentiment. So this is not part of the kit. It's part of the add-on kit itself. So in the product description, if you go over to the Altenew site, you got to scroll down a little bit and you'll look for the add-on die kit. And it contains the dice for most of these images in here. But anyway, I'm going to start with this set, Regal Flourishes block. And for me, this was really interesting because, let me just move it off to the side. Like Bridget mentioned, I had a really interesting time. Like, what was I going to do with this set? And when Tasneem and Miriam went live, I was like, okay, I'm going to go live with the product I designed. And then Tasneem used it. And I was like, well, I can't do the same thing because I want to give them a variety, right? So it's a good thing because she challenged me to really take a look at this set. And what I found in my Florilegium book, as I was flipping through here, was just a surprising source of inspiration, which is this page, which Book of Roses, Page of Roses, and this like 4 repeating quite pattern of roses. And so I was like, like, how do we incorporate this into a card? And I just saw like strange similarities between like the botanical illustration of this block and Regal Flourishes block. So then what stemmed from that is the following card. So we'll kind of see like how these two images play into each other. But what I like about this set, like Bridget mentioned, is not only the layering guide and how the image fits together, but then the alignment guide that's in the front cover. So let's work through this portion real quick, and I'll get my Stampwheel 2.0 out, and hopefully you all have gotten yours out of boxes, those of you who have it. I am using the sticky mat grid in here on mine, but it's not going to be completely necessary as as I create with this one. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see the whole thing. Oh, that's in. Out. And let me show you the layering guide one more time. There we go. So I'm going to start with the base image. And Bridget, like, I don't know about you, but I was kind of missing my layering stamps.
Yes.
So it's good to see them back. We love layering stencils. Of course, it's great to create much more realistic blends sometimes, but nothing beats a layering stamp from Altenew, I think. So
no, I agree. And these, I love that they're large. So it's almost kind of like a one-go layering stamp. So we only have to line it up one time.
yeah,
And yeah, like Miranda's saying that positioning guide is genius to help. And Miriam said they'll have some more during the event. So that's exciting as well. For the smaller sets, she said they'll be at 100% for those taking the event as well. So very
perfect.
exciting.
Yeah. What I'm doing here is aligning that base image to the image that's in your layering guide. And I like to focus much more on the center area of the alignment image, really trying to make sure that this portion is the most aligned. But as I experimented with this, it's pretty forgiving. So I'm just looking at my screen so that you all don't have to see the back of my head to get this aligned.
And that's okay if we have to. I think it's part of crafting. Somebody's going to see the top of the head at some point because we got to make sure our project is how we want it. So it's
That's
one
right.
of those side effects of crafting, I guess.
And right here, I am looking at my radial grid, right? And I like to look really at the plus sign that's in here. I find that that's the most like useful reference point. There is a notch for the notch that's in your flip plate, but otherwise I'm gonna, okay, we're gonna see the head.
That's okay. Go for it. You got it.
And I'll try to move once I get the alignment. Okay, so there it is, right?
Beautiful.
Everything is as close as I can get it. I'll press down on that flip plate, remove the stamp, and now this is perfectly aligned for your stamping surface. So I actually don't need it again, this layering guide again, because I can layer the second image to my stamped image. And here's my Stampwheel 2.0.
It still always makes me so happy to see it. I'm just like, look at that big fella. He's just a handsome fella. Ooh, good looking.
Yeah. And the Stampwheel 2.0 has that removable side. So we'll use that to our advantage on this card. Let me just put it over here.
Now,
And
do you ever lose your side, Jaycee? I mean, I haven't lost it, but does it grow feet when it's on your desk?
it surely does. When I tested this card, the card that we're making today, I was cleaning up and I couldn't find it for a while. Oh, sorry, my camera. She's calm camera, please.
Soothing camera.
Yes, focus, just focus. Right here. Okay, there we go. I think it's settled down. Oh no, we better just put something on the screen.
Oh.
And so I have that image again, and up here I've got the notch right at the very top. Okay, here's my plus sign. And to layer this image, I picked Mossy Meadow from Jade Dreams, Teal Tempest from Aqua Island. So this was going to be my mix for the card, but for now I'm going to start with Mossy Meadow. And again, layering stamps, I've missed them. I haven't had an opportunity to really use my Stamp Perfect in a while. So it's good to see it back so I can really burnish this stamp and make sure that it's ready for ink. And it just makes things easier as I stamp onto the surface.
Tasneem had hers out last week as well. It's a good reason. Oh, we have a question, Jaycee.
Yes.
When should I use the black Slim Grip Sticky Mat versus the clear Ultra Sticky Mat in my Stampwheel 2.0?
I prefer to use the black one, just personally, because any over inking, just like you can hide it better. I think it for filming purposes, I like to use the black one just because I can keep it like cleaner for filming. But I don't think there's any disadvantage to using the clear one. I think it's a matter of preference. The clear one is definitely much more aesthetically pleasing, if you must. But I think the clear one shows up a little bit better. When I remove the sheet, you'll know what I'm talking about in this next beat. So I know people like to put their sticky mat underneath the slim grip mat underneath the sticky mat grid. Obviously, you see mine is on top. But I think the clear one shows up a little bit better underneath the sticky mat grid. That's
I
just my
think so.
assumption.
Yeah, that's what I use. Yeah, I like it.
Just because the grid texture of the sticky mat grid, you can't really see the white outline on the, oh, here, let me show it on this one. You can't really see the white outline of the slim grip underneath the sticky mat grid as well. So it's up to you for filming. That's why I have the black one.
It's so a preference, but it's handy. I love the slim grip and the sticky. They're a good duo together.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And now I can just really easily, I'm not going to worry about like a really nice solid application of this Mossy Meadow for this layer. I wanted to play into the antique feeling of the inspiration image I found in Florilegium. So just going to do that. So I like to start on the top right quadrant of my slim grip mat. And of course that follows the alignment guide that you just saw. And then once I get that stamped, all I've got to do is turn my flip plate 90 degrees. And you'll know you've got it right because the plus sign is still in its same orientation. I'll flip the flip plate over and just keep inking this image and stamping it.
Now, are these some of your favorite greens? Is that why you chose the green and the teal tonight?
Pretty much. What was this from again? Mossy Meadows from Jade Dreams. And I think maybe it was just like the sort of green I'm feeling right now. We're moving into like the frosted foliage, right? Sort of color family. And I felt like this was a good transition color.
Yes.
So
I think that'll always be one of my favorite greens is the Jade Dreams. It's just so pretty. The black mat is not the same thickness as the ultra sticky mat. The black mat is pretty thin. I would say maybe like 2 sheets of paper, JC, like, depending on
Yeah, depending on your cardstock, for
yeah,
sure.
like yeah, maybe 2 Altenew sheets of cardstock, and then the sticky mat is a good, like, probably 5 sheets. It's a pretty big thickness difference. The original intention behind the slim grip mat, before we all got it in our hands and kind of did our own thing with it, was so that you could do red rubber stamps in the stamp wheel, easily. So yeah, but I just do red rubber. I don't take out my sticky mat. I just lock my plate and put it down, and I'm fine. I haven't had any problems with it. But yeah. Now, do you do red rubber at all, JC, in yours?
No,
No.
I don't have it. I had a few before, but
Yeah.
I think as the industry moved to photopolymer, that's just what I have now, or at least use most of the time with my Altenew stamp wheel because I have mostly Altenew.
Yes. Yay. We like that. Yay. Yay. Sharon would like to know, do you have a chart of some of your favorite ink combos?
I don't, like I know some folks like to keep color combinations, but I feel like that's how I don't challenge myself to try different things personally, right? Because, like, as a designer, right, I'd like you all to be inspired by many different color palettes. And I draw a lot of inspiration from flowers I see currently. So, if you follow me on Instagram, I do post my garden, except for right now. I just posted my last image in my album for 2025 because we just had our first, like, freeze.
Yep.
So everything just went to sleep last night for the first for 2025. But where was I going with this? Oh, color palettes.
Little palettes.
uh, so that will be like one of the last few times I see like vivid color palettes where I can be instantly inspired in that moment. But I like to use online generators. Do you use online generators, Bridget, for
I
your color
do.
palettes?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do because sometimes it's the same thing. There are times that I wish I wrote down some of my color combinations, because I love them, and then I forget, was it like Teal Tempest or was it, Galactic Star, whatever, and so I do wish I would have written them down, but I'm the same as you. I feel like if I write those down, I'm not gonna go outside the box, and
Mhm.
gotta go outside the box.
That's right. Yeah. And because, Altenew's got a vast selection of colors and cardstocks and the Altenew artist markers and so many mediums to use. Like, um, I just don't think there are any wrong possibilities. So it's just easier for the internet to be like, hey, this is a weird one. Why don't you try that? And it's like, oh, okay, you're right. I should try that.
Who knew the internet would be giving us good color suggestions? I
Yeah, for
mean,
sure.
it's I was watching a show the other day and the woman goes, "It's all in the wires, all the information." The woman goes, "Well, who's behind it?" And she's like, "Nobody. It's just information." And I'm like, "That's kind of scary, but that really is truly what it is. It's there." Question: if you dismounted red rubber stamps from their blocks, would there be a way to make them stick to the stamp wheel clear plate? That's a tricky one. All of mine were mounted on the cling mount. I got the cling mount and put them on there, so it has the cling. I don't know if temporary adhesive. I think it depends on how big your stamp is, but that's all I could think of was maybe a temporary, but I don't know if you want to stick that on your plate. I would have a separate plate if you were going to use temporary adhesive, I think, but
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have experience with it. All of the rubber stamps that I had some sort of cling foam as well. So it stuck right onto my flip plate.
yeah,
I did have to get creative with one of them by including shims. Like it didn't, but maybe I have not tried the rubber stamps with the slim grip mat.
yeah.
It was when it was still just the um, base, and then you could remove the sticky mat grid. But yeah, worth a try. I mean, if it's too thin, then all you've got to do is add shims.
Yeah. Oh, the exciting parts. So
Um,
exciting.
yeah, I aligned the second layer to Regal Flourish's block, and you'll notice I just did what we used to traditionally do, right, before the alignment guide, which was you kind of had to look through, look for reference points, but because I think it's fairly obvious like how this gets aligned. You just kind of have to make sure all your shadows line up. So that's all I really did instead of referring to the reference image in the layering guide. So this is where I use Teal Tempest. Again, Teal Tempest is from Aqua Island. I'll use my Stamp Perfect conditioner again. And did I mention this is a full letter size sheet? This is full 8.5 by 11. This is just my white cardstock that I like to use. You could stamp this on the Altenew cardstocks. I kind of wish I did in the second iteration, but oh well, we'll see what happens.
Liz said this looks like tile. It so does. So
Yeah.
pretty. So pretty. That's going to be hard. So, I mean, the great thing is, right, is that you are creating this full background, but then to cut it up is going to be
Yeah.
so scary.
Yeah, because you never know what you're gonna quite get. And then I
Yes.
was just like, you kind of just have to embrace that, you know, like there's no
Yep.
wrong way to cut up a background. And you'll see, it's just so easy. I couldn't believe this was as easy as it was with the stamp wheel. I was even shocked by like, because I was up way too late Sunday night, and then so trying to draft this yesterday on 2.5 hours of sleep. This was the result, by the way. This is the result of all of that, what you're seeing.
Well, I thought I was shocked. I'm like, I'm probably going to shock Jaycee when I answered right back at like midnight. I'm like, he's
Yeah.
probably like, what? What is that? What?
I know. I was like, should I message Bridget? I was like, I better just do it now because if I try to do it at work, I'm gonna forget
Yeah.
to let her know this is what I'm making to in the live session. So
It does look like a wallpaper. It's so elegant. And now, do you feel overwhelmed with flourishes, adding flourishes to your projects, or do you feel like you have a good gauge of how you can work them in?
I feel like for flourishes, I think what's really intimidating about flourishes, truthfully, is that there's so much movement in them, right?
Yes.
And you kind of try to direct your eyes like in a specific area, maybe, or it's like, well, maybe that doesn't look right here because my lines are kind of running into each other. But I think there are really creative ways to make sure that your lines sort of point, right? Like a line will point at a specific sentiment. So when I ended up finishing these cards, I thought the same thing. I was like, there is no way this is going to work. But it ended up working in its own little charming way. To marry the foreground and background elements that you'll see in just a moment. So yeah, just still working through my plus sign, rotating the flip plate every 90 degrees to fill up this panel.
And yes, I'm loving this color combo as well. I can't remember who just said that. And Mitzi's loving as well.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, this will be definitely a color combo we wanna keep in our brains and try on our projects. Oh, Frida said, "I never would have picked that color next. I guess you don't know until you try."
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I wanted like a true like wood block looking impression, and I felt like the next color in Jade Dreams green opal was just like it was too subtle, right? I wanted that dramatic wood block impression, so that's why I picked Teal Tempest. It was just like dark, and then the next shift in the color family over to help really dramatize, right? I want you to see the knots in here. I want you to see all of the flourishes that are in the leaves. So, and it's such a big statement background. Why mute it? I guess.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, I'm sure it would be beautiful in muted colors as well because it's just a gorgeous design.
Oh
But
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
like you said, it's so elegant and it's so detailed, and you kind of want those colors that grab your attention with it.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. So I'm not gonna fully put the stamp set away. I'll use it later on, but I'm going to remove this for a moment and gently peel off my 8.5 by 11 sheet on here. I'm actually just gonna remove this. So there's my sticky matte grid. I don't think I ever removed the release paper from here.
Oh wow.
So, because the back of this is adhesive too. So,
Yep. We were laughing the other day because I think it was Miriam brought out a brand new sticky mat that was gorgeous, but her sticky mat actually looks like yours, your pink one that everybody loves so much.
oh,
So we're like, oh, you have Jaycee's mat. And they were joking about possibly creating a pink mat. They were talking about it because I said everybody always loves having Jaycee's mat when it comes on. Everybody's like, I want Jaycee's mat.
that's so funny. And purely just by usage, that's how it turned pink.
Yes, just by giving it the ink love.
Yeah.
The add-on dies, so Jaycee showed the sentiments that he's going to be using the sentiment dies with this set. There's an add-on. If you look at Mitzi's posting the link to the store for the event, if you look on there and you slide down the page on the description, it mentions an add-on kit, which basically is dies that coordinate with the whew, I'm glad I was talking and didn't see that. Oh, and then I heard the noise and I'm like, oh, what is that? Whew, okay. And so the add-on kit has basically the dies and it has the Stampwheel 2 center alignment dies, which are great as well. So, oh, then Laura, yes, Laura says her mat is a pretty pink now too. Yes, we all love pink. And Jaycee set the trend.
That's so funny.
Everybody's talking about it.
So I am cutting my panel apart because, like I said, there's just the Stampwheel's versatility to make multiple cards is like one of its biggest points, right? It's a big platform, especially the Stampwheel 2.0. Of course, it's a precision stamping tool, so you can repeat stamp, but there are just other advantageous ways to make multiple cards from the Stampwheel. So I did cut it apart, and you're just like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do with these panels? Like, there's no way that these are usable. But I just feel like there are, like you have to do this sometimes. And that is just what it is.
And I think it's challenging though, right? Because like you said, you might look at a piece and say, what am I ever going to do with, how am I going to make this into a card? But then you do. And, it's, those cards become one of my favorites that I've made because I'm like, we went through a journey together, me and this card, so.
And sometimes the sentiment, like we've seen the classes for the sentiment pieces that we've done. Sometimes it's just about like really focusing on what the card says.
Yeah.
And there are different ways that you can play with empty space, which I'll get to. Just so many spoilers. So many spoilers on this card. So now I've reduced a sheet. This is another letter size sheet. Oh my goodness, it's not going to focus. I'm just going to put my hands here real quick. This is an 8.5 by 11-inch sheet. I could have put another full-size letter sheet in here, but just for conserving my resources, I have this in here. And then I have another set that I'll bring out, which is this one, Flowers and Flourishes. I think they showed this during their live just pretty briefly. And there's just this really nice layering motif in here that I don't want to spoil. But in here is another layering guide that is similar to the Regal Flourishes block that we just saw. So in your deluxe kit is this stamp set, the layering stencil, and then this is part of the add-on die kit. Yeah. So I just want to make sure that that's transparent because I will be using the die that's in the add-on die kit for this one as well. But hopefully this might encourage you to utilize other similar flowers that are in your kit for a similar sort of pattern with your Stampwheel 2.0, because I want to make sure that you see the versatility of this, right?
Yes. And I thought this set was so unique in that I don't think we have anything else that has the layering bits for one portion and a stencil for the other. I'm like, that's genius. I love that I have everything kind of in one set. I love that.
That's right. Yeah. I did notice that. I was like, where's the layering piece for this larger image? And I was like, oh, it's the stencil, Jaycee, come on. So I I am positioning this in my stamp wheel. There is a motif in the layering guide that shows like a way to really fill a card front with this image. But for now, I'm just using this again to create a repeating pattern that I'll die cut. So this is the smaller flourish flower, and I'll use the same teal tempest to stamp this outline. I wanted to marry the background and the foreground elements just so that it's not like a, here's a background, here's a floral stamp, and then you kind of just like, you know, bop them together and there's just like no cohesion, right? So this is still part of the color palette that I picked. And we'll just stamp this again. There are 16 rotational points on the flip plate of the stamp wheel, and we'll use that to our advantage again by stamping this 4 times, just like the Regal Flourishes block.
Okay, let's see. Question. If you buy just the kit, it's 8 o'clock on the East Coast. I feel like I'm doing an algebra problem on my SATs at this point, but let's see. Maybe Jaycee knows the answer. Okay, if you buy just the kit as you have the stamp wheel, okay, so that would put you in the regular kit section. Do we still get all the kit outside of the add-ons? The only thing different from the regular kit and the deluxe kit has the stamp wheel 2.0, and it has 2 sets of embellishments, but you can purchase the embellishments. It's mother of pearl gem sparkles, which until you see them in person, you will love them, but once you see them in person, it'll be a love affair that never can stop because they're so amazing in person. And I think I always say it wrong. Dessert Dreams, I think, are the other enamel dots that are in there. So that's it. There's only 2 embellishments and the stamp wheel. So if you get the regular kit, you will get all the stuff that Jaycee's mentioning. Then if you get the add-on kit, you get the things, the dyes, essentially. So hopefully I answered that well. I was like,
that was a good algebra question. If then what?
I know. That's what I was like. I feel like I'm doing programming. It's like, whoa, okay, hold on. Let me put myself here. Okay, so that puts us in the regular kit. Okay. Ooh, that was a tough one. You guys,
that was a tough one.
They're coming out swinging tonight, Jaycee, with these questions. Holy Toledo. Oh, and look how easy. We just did an algebra problem, and Jaycee's got 4 flowers stamped. Look at this.
That's right. Yeah. Again, I just looked at my reference point in the center, looking at my plus sign. I swear. I think maybe because I mentioned the plus, then we all started thinking about math. And then it was over.
I used to be good at math. Once upon a time, I actually went to college and high school to take college math courses. And I was really, really great in math. And then I got old and it just has titrated out or leaked out or something. I don't know. Maybe all the crafting knowledge pushed the math out. I don't know what happened, but
right. It's
yeah.
all the stamp wheel knowledge just took over the matrices and vertices and foiling and
Brick by Brooke said she said, I do not do math, so it was not an algebra problem. Oh. If
I went through all this effort, sorry, to align stamp layer A. I meant to grab layer B. I'm not going to stamp that layer, by the way. Sorry if you saw me do that.
So this, Sharon, is for the Stampwheel 2.0. This is a mini retreat. It's a full day of 3 classes with Jaycee, Maryam, and Tasneem. And right now we have had one crafting kind of interview with Maryam and Tasneem, and they did each did projects with us to show us the kit. And Jaycee is showing now some ideas using the kit as well. So thank you for asking. Great question.
Yeah, thanks for joining too.
Yes.
This is the A2 layer of that floral set. I'm going to use pale mauve. Sorry, I had to make sure. It's from Sugar Plums. Again, I'm sort of feeling like that cooler, colder look. My marigolds finally just went meh last night. So
like we're done. We're out.
Yeah, it's cold. Forget it. So the color that I saw in those was like similar to this, but Yeah.
The mums are still standing strong here everywhere. It's so beautiful because of the winter leaves. Because I'm in the Northeast, and we have such great leaves, and but everybody has mums on their porches too, and it's typical, northern part of the country, gorgeous. So loving the mums right now. They're so pretty.
I bet that. And they come in so many different varieties of colors. So,
Yes. And they're
yeah.
also vibrant, like the wines and the yellows and the orange. Oh, they're just so vibrant. Oh no, Liz said RIP the marigolds.
Yeah. It's just their time. But they self seed in my zone. So they just show up, and I'm just like, oh, I'll, wherever you go, I'll just leave you alone and you'll flourish where you are. And, there's no, for me, it's like there's no use controlling that because why?
No.
You know?
It's like a flower party. All the flowers are invited to JC's. They just show up and JC's like, "Sure, come on in."
Yes. If there's room for you, if you can get what you need, like you're welcome to stay. Um, the bunnies might eat you, but otherwise, otherwise you're free, you know?
Oh, Liz brought her begonias inside because they're still blooming and it's cold and she cannot part with them yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Flowers are so thank goodness we can make paper flowers any color we want any time of year,
That's right. Yeah.
especially the craft of flowers, because those we can get dimensional and go wild with too. Oh,
Mhm.
so many
And
craft
fantasy
options.
palettes, like you said, just any color. Um,
Yes. Yes, we need a bunny and a deer to stick next to our we have the chipmunk, but we need a bunny and a deer to stick next to our flowers, I guess. We'll have to let, everybody know at Altenew, we need to have some critters to put in with our flowers.
that's true, huh? That mini delight that we just taught for
Yes.
the sentiments class was
Yep,
that cute little chipmunk, and we hadn't seen that's what I mentioned, right? We hadn't seen layering stamps in a while, and
yep.
so to see the chipmunk come through. Chipmunk was it a squirrel? No, it was a chipmunk.
It
It was
was
a
a chipmunk. I kept calling it squirrel.
That's
So
what
I started calling it a squirrel monk.
yeah.
A squirrel monk, because I'm like, it's a squirrel chipmunk. So yes.
I know we had a hard time during that one. It was just
It was
I think it was late too. It was like late on a Thursday. I had had enough of the week. So
it was even worse, JC. It was a Friday. So the week was
that's right. It was a Friday. Okay. I
yes,
was like, there was something going on with my brain that day.
yes. And you were
We were just
leaving for
having giggles.
vacation and you hadn't packed yet. You were
Yeah.
like, you were you were literally on fire to go pack because you were leaving.
That's what it was. Yeah. I was
You're so
anxious.
good. I start paranoid packing, like, a week in advance because 'cause I'm just so worried. I don't know why. I'm always so worried I'm gonna forget something. It's like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to the moon. They have stores. It's okay, I mean, there are critical things like your phone you really need, your passport, that kind of thing, but beyond that, I haven't booked my trip to the moon. I guess if I do go to the moon, I'd probably start packing, like, 2 months in advance.
Right. Yeah. Really got to make sure after takeoff, like there's no Walgreens
Exactly.
at the moon,
Right. No.
no 7-Eleven. So really got to make sure.
We have Chipperell and we have Squirmunk as our names.
We really did. It was hilarious. We were just like, it's always whenever Bridget moderates and we do this, like it's like, what is this? Is this crafting? Is this?
It's like
But it's
crafting
always good.
stand up.
Yeah.
We have fun. And JC is just plugging along here, stamping out his layers to his florals, and well, they are starting to show that beautiful I love the way that mauve is playing against the teal. Ooh, what color is this?
This was pistachio again from J Dreams. I wanted this, you'll see the flourish at the end to be the piece that harmonizes the foreground and the background. But for the leaves themselves that are part of the floral stem, right, I wanted it to be just a little bit different. The background is, as we've all noticed, pretty not intense, right? But it's just like there's a lot of movement, right? So I want to really focus your attention or your recipient's attention, right, to the floral area and the sentiment. So um, that's why I picked a lighter leaf color, a much more brighter bloom, and I omitted that first layer to really let the white show through. So yeah, I'm just repeating stamping again, using the stamp, the 4 images on here. And Bridget, can you remind me what? So we started at 5:30 my time, and
Yes.
how? I just want to make sure that I don't go over for our folks.
You're good. We are at about 46 minutes, so you should be coming right in under the finish ribbon there.
Okay.
Yep, we're about an hour, so right in there.
Okay.
Yes, you're doing
Perfect.
fantastic.
Just repeat stamping this all in the circle.
There's something so soothing about this too. Like even it's soothing watching you. Like I find it soothing when I repeat stamp, and I miss it because like we were talking, we don't do a lot of layered stamping like this. This is such a treat, this event, because it's bringing back our passion for the layered stamping almost, and it's just so soothing to just I find something so calming and comforting about the repetition of these layers.
That's right. Yeah, and Altenew really pioneered the layers, in my opinion, right? It's what got me
Me
into
too.
Altenew and to crafting, right? I was like, wow, I don't have to draw and I don't have to illustrate, and I can still make real flowers that are inspired by, things that I like in the garden. Um, so yeah, it's good to be sort of back at the roots, tell stories of layered flowers again. Um, easier to teach, to be honest. So yeah, I agree. Always agree.
So much fun. So we hope that you guys will all be able to join us there. We're so excited. And it's the nice thing is like the retreats are so fun now because they're 2 days. But this is nice too because you get that one day just to come hang with your friends and craft and learn all kinds of new fantastic things. These products were created with this class in mind, with the Stampwheel 2.0 in mind. So make sure if the Stampwheel 2.0 is something you are loving and having so much fun, and Misty Sage is on Jaycee's, going on Jaycee's stamps there, make sure to come join us. And it's a lot of fun. There's a camaraderie throughout the day. You get to see other people crafting and you get to see other people's rooms, which is so much fun. It's if you haven't joined us for an event yet, this is a great way to try out events with Altenew. Lots and lots of fun. Barbara would like to know, JC, how did you get into paper crafting and card making?
Yeah, in general, like I've been sort of a creative, crafty person to begin with. I did a little bit of watercoloring. Like I've dabbled and dabbled in a lot of fine arts, right? So watercolor, acrylic painting was sort of my first thing that I invested my own right money into, and then after college, so I went to school for like something completely unrelated to this, and after my laboratory science program, I was like, I can make cards, right? How hard could it be? So then I did what any like person who lives in the States does, which is go to a big box store.
Yeah.
Um, and you see what they have there, right? So you see the Hero Arts products, admittedly, the Spellbinders stuff there, and you pick up patterned paper, and then you go, now what? And then you make a first card, and it's horrendous, and you give them to your friends because you're so proud of them. And so that's really what got me into it. I made my first set of cards using, I don't even know if Michael still sells the set anymore, but with pattern paper. Then like I just did that quietly beginning in 2015 till about 2018. And then I saw Peony Bouquet from Altenew, and it was just life changing for me. I got that one, and it was just gorgeous. It was easy. I wish I got the Altenew inks at that time, but I got something else that
Yeah.
was not nearly as good. And yeah, and then it was just over, right? And then I heard Instagram was a great source of inspiration. So then I was like, oh, let me go on there. Let me take a look. And I saw, some of the people that you all like to follow as well, Jennifer, Christina, well-loved Altenew friends of ours, right? Aram, I saw Aram's cards on there, Aga's cards. And I was like, maybe I'll post my really ugly cards online. And I had no idea there was just such a place of support. I mean, truthfully, I know Bridget and I we banter a lot, but there's really a lot of support like
Yeah.
in the card making industry. Bridget and I have obviously like met up many times in various events, and we've gotten to know each other. I've gotten to know the Altenew team really well, but aside from card making, that's how I got into this realm, right? Of being in front of you gratefully, because I don't do this full time. So yeah. Wow, that was a really long-winded answer to a very simple question.
Very
But I
good.
don't like silence in these live streams, so I try to keep it.
And so many relate to it too, because that's we all went there. We're like, oh, this is so easy. Look, I buy this, and look what I did. And you're so proud of it. And then you look back when you migrate your blogs, for example, and you're like, oh my gosh, I post, whoa. And then you take a deep breath and you say to yourself, self, I love you. It was part of your journey. Maybe we shouldn't put our whole journey out for the world to see, but we did. We did, self. Good job. And I love you. And I love that this is part of your journey because you can appreciate where you are now.
It's true. And truthfully, you got to take some Altenew classes to learn and learn how to use them properly. Follow your favorite Altenew influencers and content creators based on what you like. And yeah, it's been a long while, since I've been doing this, I feel like. But just so grateful to meet all the variety of people along the way. Grateful to meet the people at Altenew. At their
Speaking of
warehouse.
that, Nabil popped in to say hello as well and say, Jaycee, you're awesome, which
Well, thank you. Thank you, Nabil.
I have to say, Barbara summed it up perfectly. It was terrible, but I was hooked. Exactly. After the first card, it was terrible, but I was hooked. I think that is perfect. Oh, Rosie said $167 later. I have an ugly card. I don't want to show anyone.
So true.
You only spent 167, Rosie? No.
Why only?
Only? We are very committed people, yes. And thank goodness all of us went and made that first card. So exciting to have us all be here. And I think that is one of the things I love most about this community, as Jaycee mentioned it. It's so supportive and so even if your card is something you're like, this card, I know I do this still. I'm like, I hate this card. This card is awful. I hate it. I hate this card. And I don't use the H words, but as some of my cards, the card and I we've had a bad journey on that one. And,
Yeah.
you're just like, everything went wrong. You dropped an ink pad on it. You dibbled some coffee. Just everything went wrong on this card. And somebody looks at it and goes, oh, that's the most beautiful card. I love that. And you're like, this guy over here, this card, really? You're like, oh, wait, I do like that color, and then you go, you kind of.
It's so true.
We do. And it's such a supportive community. And, Mitzi's behind the badge, Carrie, today. So it's awesome, that we have this group of people that are here and so encouraging and there to help you so that if you do have questions, if you're trying to learn all of that, it's so amazing. I know I was so surprised when I was first starting out. I would reach out to people. For example, if I had reached out to Jaycee, everybody was so nice. And they were like, just, hey, here's a suggestion if you want some help on this, and so supportive. Everybody lends a hand up, in this, and it's just such a wonderful place.
Oh yeah, I agree. And I think maybe we're biased, right? Of all of the creative community, all of the communities of creatives, right?
Yes.
Like, of course, I think we're the nicest because we make things like with the intent, right, of giving them to somebody else,
Yes.
truthfully. So we're pretty thoughtful people in general.
I remember that's one of the shout out to Nabil. I'm heavily paraphrasing, but he was on one of our podcasts and he said, crafters are in unique group of people, they get up every day with the intention of doing something for somebody else. That's their intention is,
Yeah.
so really, really great, that, it really is as crafters, so oh, Pam, thank you. She said, "2 of my favorite people right here in my studio."
Were your ears ringing? We were kind of talking about you before we
Yes.
went live.
Yes, we were having fun reminiscing. I agree, Carrie. Jaycee is the best.
Oh, thank
He
you.
said he was very kind to recommend ink colors for me to start my Altenew collection.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I think you messaged me on my blog. I'm pretty sure. So I appreciate that. Yeah, I tried my best. I was like, oh, I hope this is the right answer, right? But I
It's
tried to just tell you from experience what I wish I would have done. So yeah.
I agree when you said about getting your first layering stamp set. I did, and I used inks I had because I'm like, "Oh, it's just ink, right?" And then I stamped it and I'm like, "Oh, no, no, I need the inks." And that was it, and I I went to my husband and I'm like, I might have done something." And he's like, "What?" And I said, "I might have ordered some inks." He's like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "No, I mean some inks." And I'm like,
Yeah.
and then the box came and he goes, "Whoa, you weren't joking." And I'm like, "No." But it was the magic. Like, it took them from a pretty stamp to what it was meant to be. It was just, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, definitely the layering capabilities of the Altenew stamp were um, like nothing beats it for me.
Yeah,
So, and
yeah.
it's just so intuitive, I guess. Like, it's not just like light pink, dark pink, medium pink, and like, it's like, oh, this is a real color shift in shadow, so it looks really realistic. So, ooh, we are almost to an hour, right,
You're
Bridget?
okay. You're okay. You're
Okay.
on. Yep, you're okay. No worries. Everybody wants to know what machine you are using. It went wild in the chat.
I know. It is the does anybody recognize I can't think of the
The
Anna.
Empress, but it's
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
black. I thought it
I
was
spray
gold.
I spray painted.
Okay. So you did what I did. I wanted a gold better press machine. And so I suggested it a couple of times and it never happened. So I went and bought some gold spray paint and
Yeah,
now I have a gold better press.
there you go. That's actually pretty clever. I mean, we did the retreat over in Syracuse, and some people did some creative things with their stamp wheel. Even I remember
Yes.
seeing the original size because we had revealed the stamp wheel 2.0 at that retreat. But yeah, I just it was I like the Empress. I also like my Spellbinders machine,
Yep.
but the gold was not my vibe for my craft room. It had to I had to give it a little different skin. I wish I did a better job here on the handle to get it much more even. So we'll just put that off to the side. We'll pretend like it's not there. But yeah, I did spray paint the mini, right? This is the mini
The
Empress is what
mini,
they call it.
yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, because
Um,
that was the first time you were introduced to that when JC and I cut, I think, 7,500 macarons.
yes. Yes. Worth the retreat, absolutely. But
Yes.
not during those 2 days of continuous die cutting.
No. And thank goodness, Altenew is perfectly timed and everything. They came out with the picker just when JC and I had to cut tons of little itty bits. It worked out perfect. We were so excited.
Yeah. Good times. Good times. Looking back, good times. During that time, absolutely not good times.
We
Like, no
were,
way.
I think, I don't know if it was Lydia or Nabil just walked in the room and JC and I just started laughing. We had been die cutting for, I think, oh, I don't know. We off and on for about, I think we're in our 10th hour that day of just getting ready for the event. And yeah, JC and I just looked at whoever walked in. I can't remember if it was Lydia or Nabil at this point, but we just started laughing because we were just
Delirious.
done.
It was rough. It was rough, but it was so fun to teach at that event. That was the sweet shop for those
That
of
was
you.
so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. If you guys, you never know when Altenew is going to pop up with an in-person one. If you guys can come join us in person, that would be so much fun. Syracuse is beautiful. I will just say that
I was pretty shocked. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Carrie has a question for JC. Do you
Yes.
have a mini ink blending brush for each Altenew ink, or do you have 4 light, medium, dark extra for Roy G. Biff?
You all are so lucky you're on the live. Let me show you.
He loves to spoil us with all kinds of things to share. Oh, look how pretty.
So I do have the 40 ink stand, and instead, like you mentioned, instead of having a mini ink blending tool dedicated to each color family, these are not Altenew labels. I just want to mention that I did, because I'm one of their creators, right? I try to do it as efficiently as I can. So I don't clean these ink brushes, but they're in primary, secondary, and tertiary color palettes. So red, violet, red, orange, yellow, green, green, blue, 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 violet, and violet. So that covers almost everything I need. And you'll notice they're from lightest to darkest in the spectrum. So I've got my lightest inks and my darkest inks, so I don't ever have to clean them. Warm brown, cool gray, warm gray, platinum, silver, bronze, the
Ooh.
embossing ink for stenciling, black. I use jet black or the obsidian, um, cloud white, rose gold, and then whatever gold. So this was either enchanted gold or antique gold. But that's how I have my mini ink tools. There's room for expansion. You
Yay.
never know what
Yes.
happens. But yeah, this is how I like to organize my mini ink blending tools. Now, I wish I had that luxury with the large ones. I'm trying to get there with the detail because I don't know about you, Bridget. It took me a while to really get into the detailed blending brushes, the angled
Well,
ones.
the angled I have a couple now, but the micro have stolen my heart. My heart gone.
Okay.
Micro stole me. The second I saw those, I was like, "Oh, no, they didn't," because I don't have to mask now on the awesome zero waste stencil, like, situation
Oh
where it's
yeah.
like a condensed
Yeah.
stencil where there's so much going on. I don't have to mask. I just get to ink blend, and I'm so ecstatic. So I love the micros. They've stolen me. Look how efficient. JC's even using his scraps, you guys. Look at this.
Yeah, these were just the offcuts from that 8.5 by 11-inch sheet, and I've taken all 4 of the sentiments from the oh my goodness, the flower stamp set. It is Flowers and Flourishes, and I'm just gonna stamp them on these little offcuts. If I was really trying to focus on not using so much weight or using my waste, I'd probably position them a lot better so I could stack my die cuts. But on the samples that I have, I just die cut from uh, these little offcuts that I made. So yeah.
And you guys had a great question because JC has some of the best organization I've ever seen. I know in these lives, I love it because he lets a little bit out, like he has his color swatches and stuff. So yeah, JC, you're like my organizational guru. You guys, I did offer him a trip to Maine if he wanted to come organize some things. So like, you can see I'll throw in the ocean for free, like, Oh, but it is great to see the organizations of other folks so that you can kind of figure out what works best in your space and keep that in mind because I know like JC said, he's a content creator, so he does, use these brushes really, really regularly. So yeah,
A lot, Bridget. Like if I could use them for every company, I would. You
for
know,
everything.
yeah.
Yes. They are just the fantastic ones. So we've gotten a couple requests of videos for you. So they'd like to have you do a video on how you did your spraying your machine, and on swatching in the little books you created.
Okay. Yeah. The book one has been something. If I was gonna do it, and I'll admit, like I know many of you have asked me about my swatch books, and let me die cut these sentiments. I'll show you the swatch books for those of you who haven't seen it yet.
Yes.
Um, but I mean, I'm grateful to have all of the Altenew ink colors. So I needed it, right? And Bridget, we always talk about the flower garden, and the reason why I made this particular swatch book was because I had this intense like need to match the colors I was using and seeing in my garden to my Altenew ink colors. And I just felt like I couldn't quite visualize that as nicely as I could just by looking at my ink pads or maybe looking online. So yeah, I made this swatch book um, and made the pages in it myself. I made the ink pad, the ink. I made the stamp myself too. I cut up like a photopolymer stamp from a company that just doesn't exist anymore, and used a flat surface for that to get the swatches. But yeah, I'll show you what that looks like. It did. It took me a few iterations to get to this point, but I think this is like I'm pretty solid with what I made.
It's always
For that.
exciting when you find the process that works in your space. That's always so exciting.
Yeah, yeah, and maybe what I show you is not going to be what works for you. Like I know many folks use the coin sheet method, right, with the 2-inch squares. That's great. That's great if that works for you. I needed to be able to, like, sorry to visualize this in front of you all, but I needed to do this with my computer screen
Yeah.
and match, just because it was so imperative to have as real of a color palette as I could.
And it would have been hard to be in the garden with a big book. Like, now your little swatches, you can go out and you can match and you can look and get inspired, but bigger book, it's yeah.
Yep, yep. Okay, as promised, let me get that book out. The books
Yes,
that
because for folks that have seen it, they love it. And folks that have not seen it, they're like, wait, Jaycee has a swatch book? What?
So I wish they all fit in one. I need the universe to make me a book that is thick enough to encompass both. And I'm going to try to not show ink colors. This is how this happened last time where I snuck.
Last time, yeah.
So let me just pull this away from the camera real quick.
Just browse.
So in my book, oh my goodness, see, it wanted to have a little preview. I have tabs just cut from cardstock pieces from places that, scraps. I made this template on Adobe Illustrator. I made the sheets on Adobe Illustrator. And like I mentioned, I wanted this little runoff, right, for the pages to run, the ink to run off the page. Because let's say I wanted to match this yellow, right? I could.
Yellow is safe. Yep.
Yeah,
I was just thinking, like, yep, yellow is
yeah,
safe.
yeah, yellow's good. I could hold it up to a particular page and let that color run off. And now I can see green gold is close enough to the center of the flower, for example. And it's like, what is this? What is this reddish brown that I can use for shadows? What is truly this yellow in here? So that's why I made this book. And I've got it organized into primary and secondary colors again. So there's a red, violet, red, orange, red, and so on. And then on this one, I have the browns, grays, and like the Amy Tangerine set that's sort of multicolored to inventory. But this is my swatch book. The video I want to make for this is much more involved in my head. I wanted to do it right.
Yeah.
But that's when people refer to the swatch book, this is my swatch book for all my Altenew colors. So
if this was your first time seeing it, now you can see why we're all like, oh, the swatch books. we're all in love with the swatch books. Now, I'm excited to see, yes, this card that's on your left hand is on. I'm excited to see how this develops because it's got half of it's got the design and half doesn't. So I'm excited to see how it develops.
Yeah. Like I said, there was a brief moment where I mentioned like marrying the two focal elements and the background elements together. So I just, with that additional flourish, right, I use that same color palette, which is the Mossy Meadow and Teal Tempest, to put these two images together so that it's not just like a flourish, right, that sort of jets off to the side. And so this lets me really control where this floral piece goes, to, again, like I mentioned, put the two pieces together, so that it's not just like, here's this element, here's this element. Now it's just like, oh, this element sort of flows into this place. I have a little perfect little frame here. Now for my sentiment, forever grateful. So I'm just going to leave that like that so that I can show you all the examples because I have finished cards to share. And I essentially just match the background. The little additional flourish helps marry the two elements together. The omission of the base layer, the A1 layer of the flower, really lets this flower sort of stand out.
And I love how where the forever grateful, I always call it a hug. I'm like, I want my floral or my focal to hug the sentiment. So the sentiment's not alone. He's got a nice little snuggle there.
That's right. And I did play with, like, maybe with sympathy cards, you want a little bit of empty space, right? You don't want it to be so bold. And you, of course, want to cater to the person that you're giving it to. But sometimes it's just good to have the empty space so that you can frame your sentiment, right? So that this emptier space, right? These cards are not all identical, but you can still play with certain elements and certain sentiments to get more bold plays, like with this thanks, a little bit more bold. Hello cards always suit many different occasions. But here's 4 of those. And then also here's my, oops, almost dropped them all. Here's the remaining. I was surprised, like we always bantered, Bridget and I, so it's harder to finish cards all in.
You got 4. You got 4.
But now we have 8. So,
yes.
Yeah. So now there are 8 cards, and it's just so easy with the stamp wheel. Like, the purpose of this whole live segment was to show, like, one, that you can make many cards, right, from the Stamp Wheel 2.0, the wonderful alignment guide that's in here for the flourishes, and yeah, it just makes it so much faster. 8 cards. Now I have 8 cards. I don't know what to do with these. I'll just add them to my stash of cards, bring them to work. When I bring them to work, they're gone. But yeah, that's the card. Thank you for all the questions, by the way, everybody, and thank you for joining me on this live section. So yeah, hopefully we'll get the links again soon. Mitzi will make it rain with the discount codes in the clouds, and we'll just see them fall back through.
Mitzi's gonna make it rain. Go, Mitzi, go! No. I like that. Make it rain with discount codes. That's a good. I might have to use that in the future. I like that. So yes, we do have those discount codes that we will pop in there again for you. Remember, they're good for today and tomorrow. So make sure to head on over and check that out as well. Don't forget to check out that add-on kit. If you had not checked that out yet, it has those dies as well as the Stampwheel alignment guides. I love the Stampwheel alignment guides. I use them for so much stuff. I use them instead of like blending off on a piece of paper. I use them for that. I use them to align things. They're such a versatile thing that you're like, do I need this? And then you get it and you're like, how did I live without these? Like,
yeah.
So great. As always, thank you, Jaycee, so much for all the fabulous inspiration. It's always fun to come have a chat and be able to craft and learn some new stuff. And what you guys were seeing, it's going to rain inspiration on January 18th. And we're so excited. You won't need an umbrella. You'll be like, yes, give me the inspiration. Because I was just thinking snow, rain. Usually don't want that, but we want the inspiration to rain upon us and put that in there. Discount code is good for the class or the mini retreat because it's a full day with Miriam, Tisneem, and Jaycee learning about the Stampwheel 2.0 using the fabulous kit that the designs were literally created from these 3 fabulous crafters, creators for the stamp wheel. They had the stamp wheel in mind and they envisioned these beautiful sets. So these will work for a long time past this event in your stash with your stamp wheel, and for so many things, especially the set that Jaycee was going to originally use, the Geo Wreath Builder. I mean, the sentiments, the images, it just so many things on that one that I'm like, I'm going to keep that on my desk just for adding little details behind all kinds of great things. Mitzi will pop that in there. If you're on YouTube, it's in the description as well. And we want to thank you so much for joining us, Jaycee. Always so much fun to get together and have a crafty play there, and a little
Always.
laughs. We always have a few good chuckles there. And you got some homework. You got some videos that the folks are super excited to see. So that's maybe pay attention and check out. You never know when Jaycee's going to come out with that video on his swatches or what other organizational secrets he may have that he might be sharing. So keep tuned to Jaycee. You can find more of Jaycee on the Altenew channel, his perfect pairings segment, which is fantastic because it puts the new and the old, which is what Altenew actually means.
There we
So
go.
very, very cool. And thank you so much to all of you for keeping the chat going and giving Jaycee and I some crafty math problems tonight that we worked our way through. I think we did well, Jaycee.
I think we did. I hope, yeah, it's been a while since I've done any sort of test, but that stressed me out a little bit. I had a little bit of PTSD for sure.
I'm like, if the train leaves the station at
Right, my hands are a little
at
clammy.
Altenew, and okay, so but we needed that. You kept us on our toes tonight, which is always good. So
Always a good time.
thank you all so much. Thank you to everybody for joining us. We always look forward to when you are able to come here and have some fun. We hope to see you all on the 18th. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to support at Altenew. Feel free to ask on social media. We're in the fan group. We're happy to answer any questions that you may have. The only bad question is the one you don't ask. So make sure if you have any questions, let us know. Jaycee, we will see you at least on January 18th, maybe before then, maybe. You never know when Jaycee's going to be here. So
that's right. Things up our sleeves. Always fun to create with Altenew. So, and of course, got to thank my moderator. Always good time, Bridget.
yes.
And thank you, Mitzi in the clouds again. So, and thank you to all of you who are attending. Hope to see you on January 18th with the discount codes.
Yes. Saving money. We got to save. We love saving the monies, and we love to share that at Altenew with you guys, is to save so you can join us and have some fun. And with that, all of my dear friends, we can't wait to see you again. From all of us at Altenew, thank you so much for allowing us to help you craft your life. We will see you all soon. Bye.